Well, of course, Movember has officially kick-started, and through the month of November, the mustache is king. Men from all over the world are encouraged to join the movement that is changing the face of men's health. By growing a mustache this November, awareness is raised for prostate cancer and testicular cancer. The goal of the campaign is to grow awareness by embracing our hair as something that many cancer patients lose and letting it grow wild and free. Well, of course, joining us in the studio is a representative from Movement South Africa, Mr. Garron Gsell. He joins us from our Sea Point studios this evening. A very good evening to you, sir. We thank you very much for your time. Essentially, let's just have a look at the progress of Movember, specifically here in South Africa, and the notion that has grown globally.
Yeah, so, Movember is now probably in our 8th, 9th year in South Africa, and, every year we call on our community to get signed up to Movember.com and start the month clean shaven, but as we know that some people are phonically challenged, and also the fairer sex, to sign up and support those who are supporting or growing moustaches. It's all about raising awareness. The moustache, as you can see, mine is now a weekend. It's still a way to go before the end of the month, but it's helping us raise awareness to those fundamental issues that are affecting men's health, from prostate cancer, testicular cancer, and more recently, we've adopted mental health and male depression as being one of also the leading causes of men's fatalities in the country.
Yeah, we know in specific that Movember is used to create awareness amongst other health issues as well as the cancer issues. But let's talk about the mental illness and the mental health. Just recently, South Africa saw a renowned hip-hop star claim his own life due to depression. Let's talk about the taboo that it seems to, encapsulate men or male not necessarily to talk about some of the issues, to not necessarily ask for help when it's needed.
Certainly, and I think that's one of the challenges we face as men, when we often have our head in the sand approach to our health issues, but also the fact that we often feel that we're in isolation when we are suffering with mental health issues. So getting men to talk about their state or whether they're depressed, it allows other men to identify with it and removes the stigma that's unfortunately accompanied mental health. That it's become shameful to be able to identify with the fact that it's okay to not be okay.
Now, in terms of activities that are in the campaign in Movember, just take us through some of the activities, how people can participate, how they can donate. Obviously, as men, they seem to grow their mustaches and their beards, but us as women, as sisters, as wives, as mothers who want to show support for our men who are affected by this, how can we show our support?
Well, most sisters, as we call them, make up about 20% of our campaign every year. By joining, yes, you don't commit to growing a moustache, but you can also commit to moving for 30 days or supporting those in your office or in your community or in your church that are undertaking to fundraise. And obviously it's normally a very personal reason why we've got men submitting or committing to donating their faces to the cause for the month. And it's normally very personal because of the fact that cancer touches so many of us in so many different ways, and also now, mental health and depression and suicide becoming more and more in the spotlight with fallen stars like HP, who ends up taking his life. Most sisters are often the ones that are the ones to identify if we need help, or reaching out to those helplines that have been established to look for help for the less fairer sex.
Now, if we look at the support and the awareness around the disease, specifically prostate cancer, and encouraging men to go and get themselves tested, what essentially is the right age to get yourself tested, and are there any warning signs that men can look out for?
So certainly the rule of thumb is normally from the age of 40 to go for your annual checkup, as part of your annual checkup to include a prostate exam, normally to go to your GP first. There's various different testing methods that are available, but naturally through the PSA test, normally a higher or escalated PSA level can normally indicate some irregularities. Then being referred to a urologist will allow you to obviously determine if you're at risk. But the age of 40 is normally when we suggest and promote that annually men go and get tested. So that's the basis of the campaign.
Now, on Movember, I was reading on the website, it says that men, some of them die prematurely, or most die prematurely 6 years younger than women, and that's due to largely preventable activities that they could find themselves being part of. What are those?
So, the fact that when we put the spotlight on men's health and getting men to start looking at their health in a different way, there is that 6-year life expectancy difference between men and women, which is often not spoken about. And the fact that obviously if we see men, we'll get men to start taking note of whether there's any changes in their bodies, knowing their numbers. You were asking earlier about the symptoms. There are the symptoms with lower back pain or trouble urinating, or if there's blood in the urine. These are often symptoms and signs that there is possibly something that's untoward, and to go and get tested. And often the fact that men haven't adopted that approach to their health is often what's led to this life expectancy difference, the 6-year life expectancy difference between men and women.
Now, as we lead up into the second week of November, or Movember, what are you advising to anybody that wants to participate in any of the upcoming campaigns or activities that Movember South Africa will be doing throughout the course of the month?
So for us, it's still time to go sign up to Movember. It's quite simple. Head to Movember.com. You'll see on the top right-hand page of the website, it's either to join up or to donate. By joining up, you get to choose either to grow a moustache. It's still not too late to take on the challenge, or you can commit to move for 30 days. So we're also adopting and that's addressing the fact that men often living sedentary lifestyles also has an impact on their health. You can either host a Movember event, which you can register on the website, or you can attend a Movember event, which will allow you to help us raise funds. Or quite simply, you can go and donate to somebody's efforts that's out there. And it's all quite simply on Movember.com.
Definitely. We thank you very much for your time, Mr. Garron Gsell. From myself, Shantae, I will be forfeiting some of my waxes for my little moustache that I have throughout the course of this month. And let's take a short break here on The Full View.